they're just like 10 families or 12 families become one longhouse, and then they separate it again and make another longhouse like that. Yeah, like for the Iban, we come like almost come to 60 families under one roof. They must be taking care. The same also here. Otherwise, if they are carelessness, especially at the kitchen, the fire, you will burn all. But of course, in the early days, they built their house with like the pillar, of course, from Belian. That is ironwood, which can last many hundreds of years in water and also on land. Yeah, but if you use just a nail to knock it, it will not enter unless you use a concrete nail, and then can enter. Or you drill, make a hole, and then put a ball nut inside. Yeah. Or another piece of wood. That is what we use in early days. And then roofing in early days, of course, you can see all this bamboo. They split it open and then overlapping one another. And then for the flooring, you can see that is one whole piece of bamboo, and on top they put another split bamboo. And then for the floor, as you can see that they use this another split it open like this. This for the flooring. But of course now they know how to use the rotan, making the mats with the tree bark like that. So this one they may use both ways. The upper part, that is where they use it for sitting down or for sleeping. At the bottom, that is used for drying the crops like pepper, paddy, and so on. Yeah? So there are both ways they have uses. And then for the wall, of course, they use this bamboo. But today, because there is a chainsaw. In the early days, no chainsaw. So they use bamboo just quite easily to split. And then when there is a chainsaw, they can cut into plank like this and wooden. And slowly now, the chain they prefer to use concrete. Because all the younger generation, they prefer to work in the city. So remain the older generation. Only when it's school holidays, they're coming back, yeah, at the village. Of course, they do love the village, yeah, because there are so many waterfalls, but waterfall from here is far away, unless you are staying overnight here. Yeah. All right, any good questions so far? All right, come, let's go. Then they steam it, and then dry in the sun, and deep fry.
This one you want to try, please?
You can try the tapioca crack. Because in early days, due to head hunting, once they kill the enemies and then bring the head back. But first of all, they usually put it by the riverbank in order to get rid of the skin and the hair. And then they bring it, and then they place them in a basket with a bed of rotan, and they hang it up there on the ceiling. And then here is a fireplace to smoke the skull, so as to preserve it, to keep it warm. Yeah, and the reason this one skull in the cages, just because some of the tourists, they just take the skull, place anywhere for them to take photo. But that is not so good, because the reason of it, they're disturbing the soul of these people. They have maybe some of them may get a dream and so on, because they believe in dreams too. And that's the reason why they put all in the cages. So one of the leader of the enemy is a warrior too, but it was killed. So the skull, they did not place it over here, up there, here, up here, the skull. I think you can see it through the hole. Over here you can see it. Here you can see the leader of the enemy. You can see, yes, from here you can see the white color. Can you see it? You can see from here. Those have a tripod easy, they can. But just because you're asleep, maybe you can climb up here, but be careful of those ironwood there. Don't knock your head there. The tall one can easily. Alright, the reason is that you can see how they built the head house. Yeah, it is much taller than that of a longhouse. It acts as a fort. And then they built like this when they have so many windows. In the old days, they built a platform over there where the warriors, they can sit and sleep. Only the warriors, the men, they will stay in this house. Right hand side, there's a toilet there, but that toilet is not for adult. The adult, they have to go into the bush outside. Yeah, that is for the children. Yeah, and again on the right hand side, that is the kitchen. They cook with firewood and so on, and most of the thing they put it on top so that smoke them, and then that is to prevent, yeah, from the insect and so on. Yeah, that's why. And then here is a place where they're doing washing, this area. And come, Jessica, I want you to take this one. That is how they make their raincoat in the old days, to protect from rain and from raining. That's how they cover themselves. And this is made from the palm leaf. You want to try? Yes, you go and try. Come, go. Jessica, put it on her. And try it. Yes. You can feel, yeah?
Didn't like the rental.
Yes, that is what the uses of it. Yeah, when it rains, that's how they put. Why is it long? Just because they carry the basket on the shoulder and place the string on top of the head. Yeah, and then that one is used as the that is the broom. Yeah. All right. So as we're coming in, so this is all the sleeping place here, right at the end over there. That is for the elderly people, yeah, and then for the children or the grandchildren. But upstairs is not a place for sleeping. Actually, upstairs you can see that is a place for storage, like the rice bin, yeah. Up there you can see the big round. That is not a water tub. If water tub is placed up there, what will happen to the people downstairs? That is actually for the keeping the paddy or the rice up there, the basket, and then the mat and so on. They just store up there. And those mat, when they store up there, they will turn upside down because they scared that the rat might be nesting in the basket. Anyone want to try? Let's go up and have a look what is up there.
Most spread out in Sarawak, some even go to Singapore, other parts of go to KL, and professional group of people like engineers, mostly in offshore, oil and gas. You'll find some in Dubai, a few in Nigeria, and Saudi Arabia, and of course some of the native girls here married foreigners. So the foreign husband and family also come during the Gawai. And it's interesting to see. Why suddenly so many European looking people in this village, but they are coming for Gawai. Gawai is a form of celebration, like Christmas to the Christians, you know. I'm sure in Mexico you have your own local celebration, right? Here it's called Gawai. Gawai, the term Gawai is celebration. And that is the time you will see party time. You tried the local rice wine?
Yes, very good.
That is plentiful during that period of time. After After finishing one bottle, you're on top of your head.
That is one bottle, not just a cup that you sip just now. That nothing.
But this village is not heavy drinker. Certain Dayak tribe, yes. The moment you enter the village, get ready. I have that experience. My nephew got married on the 1st of June, so it's an Iban village, Sriamande. The moment our convoy reached the Longhouse, I saw about 20 people line up in the traditional costume dyes. They will force you to drink in this tradition. The moment you finish one bottle, that's it, tradition, lie flat on your back. They are very happy to see their visitors lying on their back. Happy.
So she's the one always going up there. You can ask him how he get married. Is it the girl that is matched by the parent or his own choice? You don't mind to say
here
it?
is normally is your own choice. We don't have matchmaking. Matchmaking is not in the Dayak community. Here, in those days, there is a method of partners looking for partners. Visitors, the male, if he spotted that house has got a beautiful lady, he tries best tonight, making a visit. That is a tradition called ngayap in Dayak. It's more like courting, similar to the English word called courting. So he will visit the girl in the middle of the night. First night, the parent will just look, we are going to have a son-in-law. Second night, they will just look. Third night, you get caught. The father will say, what are you doing every night coming to my village? Is this a serious business? If you say serious business, okay, call the council of the elders. Tomorrow night, you come with your parents. The council of elders will sit together and ask how serious is this courting thing, And that's it. Unlike nowadays, all this kind of practice is no longer done. Now, the handphone is your communication. The YouTube, the WhatsApp, is changing the way people get married now. Sometimes it's long distance. You are in LA, one is in Kuching, using handphone, using WhatsApp group. You start dating over the phone without even having to meet the opposite sex. And then over time, you develop a kind of relationship. Eventually, either you fly over to Kuching or I fly over to LA. Nowadays, in the old days, it's different. I will come and see you in your house, as brave as possible. But most parents, they understand that. Unless if you suspect that you are going to take advantage of their daughter, they will show you the savior, the parang for hunting. How serious are you?
Hunting knife. That's what it's saying.
Which is a good age for marriage?
Here there is no standard age to get married. For as long as you are considered a matured woman, if you like that man, get married to him. Very simple. Dayak, they don't have so many complications. Only thing is that the girl's parents need to be notified of your intention. They don't want their daughter to mix with a man, and then suddenly, after 3-4 months, big tummy. It's giving problem to the family later on. With the boys disappeared somewhere into teenage.
Is there a village council here or just random?
It's called the more towards the normal administration which deal with the government, you know. But to carry out the traditional way, no longer like in marriage, you have to go through these elders, you know, to notify of your intention. Then they call a meeting, the whole village will attend it to witness that these two are serious couple. You know. Then the headman will set the rules. If you break your engagement or you divorce, you will be penalized. But if you look at the way the law is that covers the marriage, if you based on a traditional form one, if I tell you, you die laughing. The moment you make your partner pregnant and you're not serious, you're only fine with one gantang. They call it gantang here. I don't know what it's called in English. You know, the kind of management where you
Just like
I think
1 kilo or 2 kilo like that, because one kantang is 3.5 kilo.
3.5 kilo of salt to pay for the annulment of the marriage. So you will laugh at it. The poor lady suffers 9 months and the man is scot-free. So nowadays we don't encourage traditional form anymore. Any marriage, civil marriage, carried out by the district court. So if there is any breach of contract, the law will go against you, the civil law. I did a few requests during my time as the headman. You know, you women will be better protected by the Civil Marriage Act of Sarawak. The penalty is more severe, more concrete. If you use a traditional form, women are at a disadvantage. So they have to not, after the council of the elders, maybe 2 or 3 days time, they will go to the civil court, register the marriage, and it becomes into effect. You are a legal couple. So you are protected by the state law. Yep. Are you of Indian origin?
Yeah. I'm Indian.
Do you use your civil court there, or you use your... Which part of India are you from?
Mumbai, the western part.
Mumbai.
Mumbai, all the actors there.
Bollywood.
Yeah, Bollywood. But I like Bobby.
Hindustani movie are very
Yes.
popular among Malaysians. They're crazy about it.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan, everybody, they like the songs, they like the dance. You know. Indian movies are full of songs and dances.
Yes.
All right. We have to say thank you to
you
him.
very much.
Thank
He will
you.
come off.
Thank you for coming anyway. You are our guest.
Thank you.
We are fortunate to see you come to see this home of mine. It's about 300 years old. Huh?
No.
Nothing, this is only 100
This
years
village.
old.
300.
That's why this
300
is the
years old.
oldest standing longhouse in Sarawak until today. It started with the coming of the first white Raja. You heard about James before? He was working with your British East India Company.
Yeah, James Brooke. He was wounded. He was a soldier.
He was in the army.
Yes. He
British
was
East
wounded.
India Company.
Yes, no, heard of him. Big.
And then his parents divide the property, so he get 25,000. So he bought the royalists and came over to Sarawak
He
and
bought
stayed for good.
schooner, looking for trade. That was his purpose of coming here. So at the time when he arrived Kuching, the rebellion by the Dayaks in this part of Borneo was about to happen. They want to finish the Sultan of Brunei. This land actually once belonged to the Sultan of Brunei. But because of the ill treatment of the native decided, why should you ask tax from us,
Yeah.
So he was fortunate, he was served by James Brooke, who happened to come sailing with his boat looking for a place to trade. And he was the one who deal with the Dayak, because at that time the Dayak never see white men, never see warships, So he managed to cool them down, and the Sultan would spare his life. And the Sultan gave the Kuching waterfront, which was in those days known as Sarawak. You heard of that?
Yeah.
It's in the history book.
Yeah, become the capital today. Yeah.
And then slowly, the Sultan of Brunei gave another piece. And until it is giving all the balance of his land up to the international boundary with
Brunei.
Brunei now.
But Brunei got its own independence, the Brunei in 1968.
I don't call that independent. It's a protectorate
Yeah,
state.
protectorate. But they
Without the
always say they're
British.
independent, under the British protectorate.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
what's the reason the Sultan of Brunei still maintain
Yes,
one infantry battalion Gurkha there
yeah.
to save his family? He doesn't want a second repetition of what happened in December 1963,
Yes.
when there was a rebellion against his rule by his own people.
Malay against Malay. Yeah.
We were lucky,
Yes.
when we moved out from Brunei in 1962, I still remember it.
Yes.
The rebellion started 1 year later. As a point to refer, I always remember the Gurkha camp right now. If you go to Kuala Belait, Brunei,
Yeah.
by the seaside there's a military camp where they house the Gurkha unit, the British Gurkha. We were first there. My father was stationed there because my father was attached with the Sarawak Police Field Force Battalion there. Until now, I still remember my childhood there. It was fun.
Yeah.
Once they open the main gate, you run to the sea, play in the sea, you get tired, you run back to your barracks.
Yeah, even I was born during my younger days in 1960s. I was with the British Army because my dad working with the British those times. He was a very good photographer, and he was the first man who invented a fingerprint. Yeah. And then every time evening when we're coming back from the school, we will go into canteen after bath and so on, and then we go canteen, and of course the British Army give chocolate.
St. Mary's or what?
No, Saint Teresa at that time.
Oh, Saint Teresa.
And then give chocolate and give candies and so on. That is those younger days.
In fact, just now when you enter the village, you pass a church, right?
Yes.
That used to be a big British Army garrison. Because after this hill, two more hills, over is Kalimantan Barat, West Kalimantan, which is Indonesia. So you see this village is very close. I remember when I was a little boy, around 6 or 7 years old that time. 6 p.m. curfew, right to the border. You will see white soldiers, British soldiers, moving out towards the mountain area, patrolling the border. That was in 1963. The confrontation finished in 1966.
That is a communist insurgency because that time when we want to form Federation of Malaysia, so this is it Sukarno? Yes,
Yeah,
he want us to be in because Sukarno
He
himself
wants-
was a communist.
It is after with Indonesia, it was the insurgency
Yeah,
against the local communists, but nobody liked what you call, nobody is attracted to communism here. The native doesn't like it. Had the native be influenced by communism, this is no longer Malaysia. Maybe it belongs to China. Who knows? But the native, they are loyal to the country itself. So communism cannot get popular here. That was from 1960, about 1968. Peace treaty was signed in Sri
it's
Lanka.
1973. Peace treaty because the leader of this communities and then he surrendered. So we have got peace treaty in 1973 at Sri Aman. Before that, Sri Aman is called Semangam, and then they convert it to Sri Aman, meaning peace.
Peace town.
Peace town. All right.
Okay.
Shall we make a move? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. Very good.